Hi, I'm Keith Hall, and today I want to talk to you about jazz ride cymbal technique. Now, in jazz music, the ride cymbal is the center of the band. It's where the swing feel starts and ends. And all those other things that we do on the drum set, those may be really cool and a lot of fun to play, but if you don't have a swing and groove on the ride cymbal, you really don't have anything. So let's start with the snare drum. Let's put our hands on the snare drum like we're going to play some rudiments, and we're going to warm up. And take your right hand, it's flat right now, but I want you to take it and rotate it over to the cymbal, just like that. Just a simple rotation, so that the thumb is up, and then you've got the fulcrum right there, that pivot point, that balance point. You're going to use your thumb and forefinger to create that fulcrum. When we play the ride cymbal, we're going to use the fingers and the wrist, a nice combination between the two. And then the stick is going to go straight up and down. Make sure it goes straight up and down so you get a consistent sound on the ride cymbal. I like to snap my stick a little bit, and it helps to create a more definite attack on the ride cymbal. And then the last thing is to make sure your stick rebounds like a basketball. Go ahead and let it rebound naturally. Don't force it. So we're going to start with quarter notes. My friends and I, we like to say that the quarter note is king. You know, in jazz music, the bass player plays quarter notes. So the quarter notes on the ride cymbal are very important. So we're going to start with those. Real simply, just playing slow quarter notes on the ride cymbal, thinking about the technique we just talked about. Now, in jazz, we have the jazz ride cymbal pattern that many of us like to call spang-a-lang. So we're going to incorporate the same technique and play the spang-a-lang. It's important to spend a lot of time practicing this because, as I said, this is really the center of the band. So as you practice, make sure you start slowly. A lot of times we try to rush off into faster tempos too quickly, but start slowly and get it right at a slow tempo. The second thing is that you want to make sure to use a metronome. You can put the metronome on quarter notes, or you can put it on beats 2 and 4. Also, my book, Jazz Drums Now, Volume 1, has many play-alongs at various tempos, and that can really help you to work things up. And as always, it's fun to play with recordings, so make sure you play along with some of your favorite recordings. I know for me that was a big way that I learned when I was younger. In addition to practicing, make sure you're doing a lot of listening and focus in on that ride cymbal, because every jazz drummer has a distinct sound and feel on their ride cymbal. Listen to people like Philly Joe Jones, or Billy Higgins, or Elvin Jones, Tony Williams, or Jimmy Cobb. They all have a very special feel and a very special voice on the ride cymbal. And as you listen to them, you can start to emulate their way of doing things. And then eventually, you can develop your own way of interpreting the spang-a-lang. So the ride cymbal is really where it's at. So I hope you spend some time working on that. I know I will be. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.